Hey everyone, my name is Rick Graham, and for probably a lot of you, this is probably the first time you've ever actually seen my face. I am the creator of both the Revelations universe and also Revelations Skirmish, which is our tabletop war game with my company, White Light Media. And I wanted to kind of make a video to update everyone on where the Kickstarter is in terms of fulfillment, and then also what's kind of looking like things down the road, because we did an announcement recently, but I haven't done something on YouTube, and then also sharing this with our Kickstarter backers. So the previous Kickstarter, which we did back in late 2023, we have been moving along, getting more stuff developed for the Space Pirate Force. We have hopefully everything in place for it to release April 1st. So as we move forward with that, the STLs should be ready for distribution on April 1st. I will probably likely on the 1st, after I get all of the STL stuff distributed to our digital backers, I'll start contacting everyone else who was waiting for the physical fulfillment for the pirates so that they can pay for the shipping. The probably next question is, well, where's Karldra? That was the whole Kickstarter was for. And Karldra, we ran into a bump because the person who was developing the vehicles for us, which we did get the vehicle models finished, he was not able to continue with us due to personal reasons. So he had to step down temporarily. Hopefully he'll be able to come back. But if he doesn't, we've begun moving forward with others just in case, because we got to still keep making progress because we have, to fulfill the Kickstarter. So we have a new modeler who has begun work on the Ubervelm, which is the Faust Union stretch goal war mech. We wanted to start with that one instead of diving into Karldra with this guy because we felt the Ubervelm was probably a easier project overall. So since this was the first time we were working with this modeler, let's give a easier project and then see where things are from there. So if things work out really well, or if he wants to continue, or we're doing a more, we'll just say slightly complex project, which is like the Ragnar and the Bjorn form for Karldra, we'll be moving forward with that afterwards once the Ubervelm is completed. So we have a plan in place to move forward with the Karldra. We are currently working on the Karldra drone unit, and then all that would be left is the infantry, because everything else was just variants and alternate poses, which we can handle in-house perfectly fine. And that's basically it. Once the pirates are completely fulfilled, the Ubervelm is finished for Kickstarter backers, then it's just Karldra, and then getting all the physical components out. So after that, like, the whole Kickstarter is completely fulfilled, which kind of leads me into the next thing that we're working on. So while this is going on, I myself, while I oversee and handle the writing, the rules creation, updating the stats on the website, lots of hats. I wear lots of hats for the business. I am not primarily, until very recently, I have not done any of the modeling. I've helped do some of the posing, but I haven't done the actual model creation. I do all the pre-supports, all the painted pictures you've seen, that's all my work. But the actual creation of the digital asset, making the model itself, that hasn't been my thing. Since about a month and a half ago, I've started to dabble and starting to come up with some rather simpler projects that I can work on. But when it comes to like Karldra and stuff, I want someone who's more experienced, which has been a little bit why there's been delays, because trying to locate modelers that wanted to take on the project and everything. So as we're moving forward. But in the meantime, what I've been able to work on while we've been fulfilling other things and kind of, we have to keep looking ahead of like, well, what's our next projects and everything. I have released beta rules for a new rules system set in Revelations called Revelations Battlefield. The purpose of Battlefield versus Skirmish is that while Skirmish is a pretty solid simulation game, Battlefield is intended to be more of a gamified game. And by that, I mean, it's very objective driven, but in more of ways of like how a game would be. Skirmish was always intended to kind of simulate combat in the Revelations universe. Battlefield will still utilize the exact same models that we already have available. The difference being, I have some of these here. We're working on some different assets to help with the players. So including, like 3D templates that have different types of terrain, so like rugged, woods, blocking, and these are going to be available in 8 different sizes, and that's just for template stuff. We'd like to also get into doing 3D terrain. But in April, we are going to be, our goal is to launch the next Kickstarter. The reason that I feel in a position that it's okay for us to move forward with a new Kickstarter project is because we're already going to have all the pirates already released to our backers, which leaves the development of the Karldra infantry, which we have a plan in place of how we're going to move forward with that. We're finishing up the Raider infantry for the pirates, which was their pirate, basic grunt infantry. We have a plan in place of how we're going to move forward with the Karldra infantry with that same modeler who's doing the Raider right now. And then the drone is already in progress. So that literally just leaves the Bjorn and the Ragnar, which, as I said, as we're moving forward with the Ubervelm, we're going to move forward into those projects immediately after. So while I wanted to have all the Kickstarter components finished, we have things in the works, and I have time available to move forward with other things while those other parts are being created. And those are obviously priority because those have to be done. The difference with Battlefield is that all of the components that are going to be in the Battlefield Kickstarter are components that I myself can do. So one of the things that we're going to be doing, obviously, as I mentioned, we're doing the templates for the game. We're developing the whole rule set, which right now the beta rules are available. There'll be a link down below. You can go download that to check that out. In the meantime, the only other component that I cannot do myself is the web development, because we have a list builder, revelationswar.com, where you can go and build your list for Revelation Skirmish. We wanted to add another component in there with our web developer, and it's kind of expensive. So that's, a very large part of the Kickstarter is to fund the web developer progress and update to the website, to add Battlefield as a printable component on there for your list, and it'll have all the stats for the models and everything. And the stats are quite different than they are in Skirmish. There's some components that move over because it's kind of similar. You're going to have range weapons and you're going to have defense values and stuff like that, but the game plays differently. And we're excited about it, and I'm looking forward to, so far everyone who's read the rules has given very positive feedback. And the fact that the models are already able to be used, so even if you don't want to back that other Kickstarter, which I would hope that you would, you'd be able to still play it because of all the models that were already available in our last Kickstarter are completely transferable over. The only difference is that infantry are going to be on a different type of base compared to how they are in Skirmish, but you're going to still use the same infantry figure, the actual model itself. The base will be different, and that'll be available as well once we kick that off and everything's moving forward. So I wanted to address that first and talk to you guys as our backers so that no one felt that I was, trying to pull a fast one or ignoring a project that's in progress and trying to just, aggravate anybody. That's not my intention. My intention is to optimize my time and to keep moving forward with new things while we are still fulfilling everything else. And I feel very confident that that's going to happen in a very timely manner because we've been making really good progress. When you see all the different pirates that are coming out, we've been making very quick progress as much as we could. We're a very, 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 very small team. But since I'm not the one who's doing the Karldra models, I can move on and do other things while I'm still managing that component. The other big thing for Battlefield that we're going to bring for those who are interested is that we're going to be offering a bunch of different models that we already have released, but in battle damaged versions. And the benefit to battle damage in universe is that they can be used with your pirate forces. They can be used as, you just want a battle damaged faction, or maybe your forces to look more veteran and worn or something. The other is that there are mercenaries who have machines and equipment that isn't really fully repaired. We call them the M-. It's just the status in the Revelation Skirmish to demonstrate these mercenary forces are not fully repaired, fully equipped, fully funded as if they were straight from the core Republic's armed forces. So these battle damage models will tie in perfectly to that if you wanted to have a visual aesthetic with that. I myself am able to, and I went ahead and tested, I am able to do the battle damage components myself. I did a full Sierra. I have it over on my desk outside of view. It printed amazing. I was super impressed with how well the battle damage transferred from what I did in the modeling program and how it transferred to being printable, because there's always that like, well, is it really going to show? It was awesome. I'm going to be painting that very soon to be able to show that off for everybody to see, and I'm very excited about that. So I feel we're making good progress on our current Kickstarter. We have a valid value that we're adding to the community in terms of getting Battlefield created, and I'm excited for it. So April 1st is the goal for the Pirates being released. I will update with the Uberwelm as quickly as I can as that's making progress. We've already got it pretty much blocked out, which, we have the rough shape of the Uberwelm, but now you start going through the detail phase and everything. So in the modeler that we have that we're testing out with this project is very excited to work with us. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to have a pretty quick turnaround with that and be able to start showing off some images of that as well very soon. All right. So if you have any questions, please leave those below. If you're interested in getting the beta rules for Revelations Battlefield, even just to check it out, the rules are for free. Link will be down below. Talk to you guys again later. Bye.